Well, the Green Bay Packers schedule is out along with the other 31 teams in the NFL, but for the Packers, they will have 5 primetime home games in 2026, featuring games on Thanksgiving Eve against the Rams at SoFi Stadium and Christmas Day at Soldier Field against the Chicago Bears. Both will be on Netflix. The Packers will also begin the season away from Lambeau Field against the Vikings Week 1 and will finish the season with 4 out of 5 games at Lambeau Field. The Packers will also have their bye on Week 11. Turning to the Brewers, yesterday saw them win their series against the San Diego Padres, beating them 7-1 at American Family Field. Starting pitcher Kyle Harrison recorded 7 strikeouts and 5 scoreless innings, while Luis Rengifo drove in 3 runs. Here's more from him on his batting.
Feels good, Go out there, stay in the process, and see every pitch and hit the ball. It feels good.
The victory capped off a 5-1 homestand for the Brewers, who swept the Yankees and then won 2 out of 3 from the Padres. Now they'll hit the road for 6 games, starting with the Twins tonight and the Cubs on Monday.
For nearly 40 years, ABC Wisconsin Apprenticeship has been helping men and women transform themselves into highly skilled trade professionals. These skills are in demand and provide strong wages and benefits for a bright future. If you're a hands-on person who likes the feeling when you get projects done, apprenticeship could be for you. Go to buildyourcareerwi.org or just search online for ABC of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is prepping for their game September 6th against Notre Dame at Lambeau Field, but 2030, mark your calendars, as they'll host Northern Iowa at Camp Randall on September 7th. In the meantime, Wisconsin has a 9-person committee looking for their new athletic director, who will be hired by summertime. And finally, with the Bucks potentially prepared to move on from Giannis Antetokounmpo, we're looking for some clarity before the NBA draft. Some co-owner Jimmy Haslam. For the Wisconsin Sports Zone Network, I'm Ebo.
The Packers are one of those teams where I go, I know they're going to be good, but like, it's how good? Is it going to be 10-7? We just get in the playoffs good? Or can they turn the corner and play more consistent football and Jordan Love consistently play at a high level to where they can be 12-5, 13-4? And that's the big thing with the Packers. We felt like they were going that way last year, and then they lost that game in Denver and everything changed.
Certainly, I think it's always important to start the season on a good note, but having 4 out of 5 at the end of the year, especially with the conditions that we get up here in Green Bay, could be a big advantage for us.
This is where Wisconsin gathers to talk sports. Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks. The Wisco Sports Show is on the air. Now, here's your host, Grant Bills.
Chris Sims on Pro Football Talk earlier today, I thought, perfectly outlining what this Packers season is about. Yeah, you guys will be good. At least you should be. How good? Are we talking another 9, 10, 11 win season where it's like, left some meat on the bone? Or are they going to take that next step and push a little farther and win 11, 12 or more games, win the division? So I like that. And that comment from Matt LaFleur, he did sit down with Larry McCarron. Packers socials push that out. So I'll play a little bit more from that because he had a comment that jumped out to me, adds into a conversation that I want to have about the Packers schedule, which is now fully out. That's where I want to start tonight. This is the Wisco Sports Show. My name is Grant Bills. And just a PSA at the beginning of the show. I have a personal engagement this evening that requires me to leave about a half hour to 35 minutes early. So if you're one of our outstanding second half callers, no one in specific comes to mind, but Darnell, Dave from Monona is normally a 5 o'clock guy. Ridge Runner Mark, normally a 5:30. Eric on 990. If you're like, I can't wait to talk to Grant today about the schedule, call in the first hour because I won't be here in the second. Now, I recorded a bunch of stuff today. So the second half of the show, it'll be more on the Packers schedule. It'll be good. I just won't be able to take your calls. So early and often, 608-321-1670. I'll come to you first segment if you're ready because it's a free phones Friday. I do want to talk about the Brewers. Yelich not in the lineup tonight. That's significant. They brought up Coleman Crow. He's going to start tonight, which I love. In fact, I was in Woodman's this morning pondering this. I was in the healthy snacks aisle, bought some veggie straws. Ebo made me feel bad about it. Well, seed oil's over there. Okay. All right. But I was in the healthy snack aisle, and I was thinking, I really wish they'd just bring up Coleman Crow. Not because I even love Coleman Crow that much, but because I would try to find any way possible to keep Chad Patrick in the bullpen. He's just so much better there. He's good. He's one of their better relievers. So I'm glad that that's the route they're taking, at least for now. We'll talk about the Brewers and a little bit of a Bucks update. We'll circle back to the Giannis thing that we discussed last night. Miles Turner talk about how he's a couple hours late for team flights. That's interesting to me. and we'll go a little bit deeper on that later on in the show. But your phone calls throughout, like I said, 608-321-1670, and jump in the live stream if you want to watch along too. That Wisco Sports Zone app, really slick. Here's the Packers schedule that first month confirmed. At Minnesota, at the Jets, home against the Falcons on Thursday night, and then at Tampa Bay week 4. So that's the first month. Then they get a couple home games against the division. I really like that first month for all of the reasons that we talked about yesterday. If I have to see a division team early, and there's no telling, like the next division game, they have week 5 against the Bears, week 7 against the Lions. There's a chance that Micah Parsons and or Tucker Kraft aren't back for that game either. But I'm certain they're not going to be back week 1. So if the Packers are going to play a divisional opponent week 1, give me the Vikings. Kyler Murray could be awesome, but even if he is awesome, might take a little time. So give me that team early. And the benefit of going to US Bank early on is that then you get the Vikings later with the hopes of getting small hands Kyler Murray in some elements. The Vikings will come to Lambeau before the bye, Sunday, November 15th. It could be 60 and sunny that day. There's no way of knowing, but there's at least a chance that it's a little cooler, or maybe it's a little bit more moist. We shall see in the second weekend of November. So Kyler Murray at Lambeau later on, good. That's good for me. I like that. So the first month plays out exactly like we thought it might yesterday when we talked about that and we looked at some of the leaks. That's good. You get 2 thumbs up from me. The final month of the season, and really we could extend it out the final 5 weeks. So they'll go their bye week, that Thanksgiving Wednesday game, that blackout Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve game against the Rams, Sunday against the Saints, and then their final stretch. This is the final stretch of the season. Home against the Bills, home against the Dolphins, at Chicago on Christmas, home against the Texans Monday night, home against the Lions week 18. So that's 4 of your final 5 opponents at home, including the Dolphins, which I like. Get the Dolphins up here in the cold. That plays very well for the Packers. Get the Texans up here in the cold. Now that Texans defense should travel just fine. But the last time I watched CJ Stroud play was in some elements in New England, and it did not look all that great. I'd also prefer just to face the Lions in the elements. Jared Goff, I think, has shown growth in the cold or in the rain. Including that 2 years ago, they actually played pretty well at Lambeau with the rain coming down. So Jared Goff can do it, but there's also a chance that he has a really bad game. So I'll take that chance. So give me the Lions at Lambeau later on in the year. The Packers go to Detroit week 7. So I like the first month. I like the last month. The middle gets a little dicey or gets a little interesting, and I want to talk about their bye week situation. So their bye week leads into that Wednesday night game. We talked about this a little bit last night. That doesn't really give them a full bye. The way I see it, it kind of gives them 2 mini buys. They don't get 1 full bye, but they kind of get 2 minis. They get a week and a half going into the Rams, and they get a week and a half going out. So not a full bye. But if you're just looking at total bye time, total time between games, I'm not going to say that this is better, but I almost just look at it differently. You get a week and a half in, a week and a half out instead of the normal 2 weeks off. If you really want to look at it optimistically, maybe it's better. The team gets a chance to rest, but without the 2 full weeks off, maybe they don't show up rusty. Maybe they stay a little bit more engaged. I don't know. Maybe more players stay in Green Bay and put in a little extra work on this, that, or the other thing. I don't know. Another interesting part to the schedule, and I think this folds in with their bye week, they play 2 Thursday night games. They're the only team in the NFL to play 2 Thursday night games this year. Week 3, they host the Falcons on Thursday night. And week 8, they host the Panthers on Thursday night. Now, both of those games are at home. So I'm trying to be more optimistic. I feel like I can be kind of critical and whiny sometimes. Been trying to be optimistic about the Brewers this week. They've made that easy. My optimistic view at a schedule in which my team has to play 2 Thursday night games and has their bye separated by a Wednesday night game is, well, when you add it all up, you kind of get 2 mini buys because of your 2 Thursday night games. And your bye week is kind of split into 2 week and a half buys. So instead of, let's say the value of a bye week is 2 weeks. What you're really getting is 1.5 and 1.5. So your additive amount of downtime going into the Rams game and out of the Rams game actually adds up to 1.5. You're getting more rest time. It's just not congruent. It's not consecutive. The same with the 2 Thursday night games. The benefit of playing Thursday night is then you get that mini bye that 10 days that follow. Now, you got to play on the short week, and that's the disadvantage, but the Packers in both of their Thursday night games get the advantage of being at home. So if the Packers handle their business and they play well, which is really the point. Like that's really all of the scheduling stuff and the rest and the home and away and late. Like the Packers just need to sack up and be an actual grown-up big boy team this year. And if they do that, I think the schedule takes care of itself. If the Packers take care of business against the Falcons at home and they get revenge for last year and take care of the Panthers at home on short weeks on Thursday night, you actually get a lot of downtime in this schedule. It doesn't come in the traditional way. Again, your bye is separated, but you're getting 1.5x the value because you're getting more time off. It's not congruent, it's not consecutive, but you're getting a week and a half off and a week and a half off, essentially. And then, you got to play twice on Thursday night, but you get the advantage that of 2 mini buys, and both Thursday night games are at Lambeau. So you're forcing both of those opponents to come to Green Bay. It's odd. It's a little bizarre. In fact, I pulled this audio, Matt LaFleur and Larry McCarron on the Packers digital channel or their social media or whatever, Packers.com, I suppose. Larry McCarron asked Matt LaFleur, are there any stretches or specific months or whatever that you focused in on? And pay attention to what LaFleur says here.
Do you look at any portion or portions of the schedule that you say that's going to be a challenge right there?
Well, I think every year the schedule is the challenge. Certainly one of the things that I think factors in each and every year is the health of your football team and how you implement deloading weeks to take a little off the players. The one thing that's unique about this year, it's probably the most unique schedule in regards to how many days you have off in between games that we've ever experienced.
So there you go. You got to play on a couple of short weeks, and your bye is separated by the Rams game. But you do have more games off as a result. Now, I'm not going to act like playing 2 Thursday night games is an easy task. There's a challenge there. But both of those games are at Lambeau, and they're both opponents that you should beat, Atlanta and Carolina. So if you take care of business, you're going to be rewarded twice with 10-day stretches of off days. And the bye is separated, but again, you're kind of getting 1.5 the value of a normal bye week. You're getting a week and a half off and a week and a half off with the game in the middle instead of just 2 weeks. So really you're getting like the value of, 1.x what a normal bye week would be if the team can take care of their business. All of this is secondary if the team sleepwalks into games and does some of the crap and pulls the same stuff we saw last year and the year before. That's what I want to talk about next, but I thought I'd give you my reaction to a couple of the interesting choke points and interesting stretches on the schedule. Let's take a call here, 608-321-1670. It's a Free Phones Friday, Wisco Sports Show. Who's this?
Hey, Greg, Coach Freed here. How are we this Friday?
I am outstanding, Coach Freed. I thought of you when DL Hall looked to be injured the other day, but it turns out, I don't know if he was just like lightheaded or sick. I didn't see after the game, and I thought, oh, Coach Freed, that's going to be crushing, but it seems like he's fine.
Yeah, I was listening on the radio and my heart skipped a few beats. I plan on going out to the Twin Cities tomorrow morning to catch a game wearing my DL Hall jersey, and I was a little worried there for a second. But on some positive news, Coleman Crow getting called up. I hope his sister is in attendance tonight. Very easy to look at.
Does he have a good-looking family, the Crow family?
Yes. I remember his debut down in Miami. They kept panning to her. Really easy on the eyes.
Well, I'm glad. Nothing wrong with that.
No, but yeah, that's all I got today. Pretty brief.
That's okay, Coach Freed. Enjoy safe travels up to Minnesota tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll be on the Grant Bills interchange.
Yeah, turning right at the GBI. Correct, you will be. Not going left to La Crosse, but right to Eau Claire and to the Twin Cities. Yeah, so Coleman Crow's being brought up, which I really like, not necessarily because I think Coleman Crow's the best pitcher in the world, although he showed well in Miami for what it's worth. But I want Chad Patrick to stay in the bullpen because he's really good there. And they need more good relievers right now. They're in flux with some of their leverage arms. Koenig's not back yet. So it's not that like Chad Patrick sucks as a starter. I don't want him starting. He can start games just fine. He's not one of their best starters, but he's a capable starter. He's just much better in the bullpen. So maneuver other guys around. Bring up Coleman Crow. Use Logan Henderson. Push a start. Do whatever you got to do to keep Chad Patrick in the bullpen where he's much, much more effective. 608-321-1670. Let's take another call here. Let's go Sports Show. Who's that?
Hey, Grant, it's Uncle Packer.
Hey, Uncle Packer, what's going on? You like the schedule?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love the schedule. I don't think you could have done it better. I am so impressed. The bye week's late. The front, we don't start out with really, really hard teams, and I'm not counting the Vikings a hard team. We got chance. I don't think we're playing like a team until about game 3 or game 4 because we don't have much for preseason anymore.
Yeah.
And when we get ready to hit the hard part of our schedule, we should have our good players back. I think it's perfect. I was really happy with the schedule.
So, and I don't know, again, Uncle Packer, so they have the Vikings week 1. They're not going to have those guys back. They have a run of division games they have in weeks 5 and 7. It would be great if Micah Parsons and Tucker Kraft, if they start on the PUP, they miss the first 5 games, and then they come back week 5. I don't think it's an accident that the NFL scheduled the Cowboys week 6. Because if Micah Parsons returns week 4 or 5, then he would be available for that week, and there would be the Cowboys, Micah Parsons angle. I don't think that's an accident that the NFL gave him that 4 weeks and then plus a little extra to hope that Micah Parsons is back for that game. Sunday Night Football, by the way.
You're exactly right. I agree 100%. That's going to be a huge game.
Yeah.
And they'll have Micah back. And they're the other team. There's 3 teams that got 6 prime season games or prime time games. And we were one of them.
The Bears got a bunch of them too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a great year. But I called to tell you that I too am going through the wonderful Dunn County. I can speed now when I get out of it.
Oh.
To over to the Brewers game. I'm so excited.
You're going tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight probably and tomorrow. I mean, when they're this close, you got to see them play. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. You got to get going. Does Dunn County have does they have a reputation for speed enforcement? Oh, really?
I've only got 2 tickets in my life on a highway, and I drove all over in the Navy, and they were both in Dunn County, right at the bottom of the Knapp Hills.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll sit out there.
So what I was going to say, though, is that I'm so excited to see the Brewers, and I didn't hear who was starting tonight, and I missed that. Could you tell me?
Coleman Crow.
Coleman Crow. Okay, good. I'm good with that.
So his second major league start.
Yeah. I just really hope we continue hot. Yesterday we had 7 or 6 runs in the second inning. By the second inning, I just hope we just eat them up. I mean, the Twins are like my favorite second team.
Okay.
I mean, you grow up where we grew up here in Menominee, in this area, with New Auburn, you got to root for the Twins. We had Carlin Killebrew. I mean, it was fun when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I still love the Twins, but not like I do the Brewers.
Well, and Menominee's got the Vavra connection too over there with Gardenhire when he was managing. Appreciate it. Drive safely and slowly over on 94, the Knapp Hill. Yeah, they do. High school lifeguard at the Baldwin Pool, and they do all the spots along 94 there on the median where they'd sit over towards Knapp and what the exit that takes you north to Glenwood City where the Quick Trip is. I can't remember what exit. If that's Q. I can't remember. Yeah. You're talking. I love how you said you grew up where we grew up, and you said Menominee and New Auburn, which is not typically, that wouldn't be the number 2 town mentioned. Most people would say, well, Menominee, Eau Claire. No, Auburn. I like that, Uncle Packer. One more call here, and then we'll go to break. Let's go Sports Show. Who's this?
Oh, Grant, Tony from Texas. I love that Uncle Packer, but I got to say this: that big round jersey.
What? You're cutting out, Tony. What'd you say?
He's got the Brewers in another contention, knocking people out left and right. I love what Big Ron's got going. If anyone doesn't know, Big Ron is the parody account for Drunk Matt Arnold.
Drunk Matt Arnold. Yes, of course. Sorry, you cut out there for a sec. I missed what you said at the beginning, but now we're caught up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, the Brewers are cooking, man. I got to give it up to him. And I saw another thing on the Brewers. Jesus Mate, #1 prospect, and then you got the Miz, the #1 pitcher in the league. I mean, things are looking up in Brewtown. Everyone's down on the Brewers. I'm not. I'm very. You've been kind of down on them a little bit, I gotta say.
Well, I've been trying to combat this a little bit this week, Tony. I've been trying to be more positive. I mean, they haven't exactly been an awe-inspiring baseball team until the last couple of weeks. And I think we've responded in turn these last couple of weeks. You don't think so?
Yeah, I think you got to get a lady in your life, Grant. You just got to get a little happiness.
You think
It's
that's
like a
what
little
it
bit
is?
down the dumps, or maybe you're. I think that's what it is, man.
No,
You're in a dry spell right now.
Why? What is it with you? The other night you called in and you said, "Well, Grant, I know you're on a budget," and I said, "Tony, what's that mean?" And you didn't follow. So you're commenting on my financial situation and my love life. Is that what's going on this week?
Hey, I tell you what, there's only one person that'll defend you on that morning show, and that'll be me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't know that this was a topic on the morning show this morning. Okay.
You hear me?
Yes, Tony. Tony, I'm gonna let you go. Have a good weekend. If there's something else you were trying to say, DM me on Twitter, text in or something. You were just cutting out a little bit. Yeah, Tony's pocket watching me and relationship watching me now. This is great. Thank you, Tony. That's great. I have a big overarching thought about the Packers schedule and about this week in general. We'll do that next, and I'll continue to take your phone calls. 608-321-1670.
This is the Wisco Sports Show with Grant Bills on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
I work for Pella because I know it's a company that builds and installs a quality product. The people that I meet, the stories that I hear, it's really one of my favorite parts of this job.
That's really it. I love being able to walk hand in hand with customers throughout the whole process from start to your entry door looks like, and you get that big smile. That's just one of the best feelings.
Get the look you want for the home you love with 0% financing options available. Visit PellaWI.com today.
The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 3 minutes. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 2 minutes. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 1 minute. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 30 seconds.
All right, we're back. Wisco Sports Show. Get back to your calls here in a second. It's a Free Phones Friday, 608-321-1670. Packers schedule reaction. We got the full thing. Brewers, Christian Yelich, not in the lineup tonight. They're taking it easy with Yelich, not deciding on an IL stint yet for the back. It's like, well, probably could have brought a little more cautiousness, taking it a little easier, bringing him back. I think he was back before a lot of people thought that he would be. But so that's on the table. Coleman Crow up. He's going to start tonight. And if you want to circle to the honest thing, the Bucks thing, we can too. Before we get back to the calls, just one sec, because I did a lot of reading on the Packers schedule today. You know, like what was Bill Huber writing about, for example? And I'll give you details from his story in the second hour of the show. But basically about the rest advantages and disadvantages. The headline or the byline at SI from Bill Huber is the NFL screws Packers in terms of bye weeks, scheduling differences. The Green Bay Packers will have less rest than their opponents this season, including in both games against a top challenger in the NFC North. So we look at the rest differential a lot. And the travel differential, we're tracking these things now. Air miles traveled, time zones traverse, right? All these things. It's almost like breaking down the schedule has become, in a smaller way, similar to the draft in that it's almost its own thing. There are people who cover the NFL, but their big thing is nerding out over the draft. On a smaller scale, almost this week, I'm like, people who go nuts breaking down the travel and the buys and the advantages and the disadvantages. Warren Sharp does this, where it's like people have turned this scheduling thing into a science, you know, where we can find little advantages here and there. And it's probably significant for bettors most of all. I think if you're looking to find an edge, maybe if you're gambling. I'll break down what's interesting about the schedule. It's road heavy early, home heavy late, 2 Thursday night games and a weird bye. That's interesting to talk about. But folks, for the most part, it's irrelevant in that I think if this team is made of the right stuff and if this team has the right DNA and they're a serious big boy contender this year, they'll find a way to win the number of games they need to win the division or to get a certain seed. I don't think a schedule one way or the other will preclude or exclude a really good team from accomplishing their goals. So I'm happy to nitpick it and to look for interesting parts in the schedule, but the schedule wasn't their issue last year or the year before. It's that they would gag games to the Browns or blow leads to the Bears and play their worst football at the most important time. Like that stuff's independent of the schedule. Come on. So I'll look for interesting tidbits in the schedule, certainly, because we just got it and we have a show to do today. So we're going to talk about the schedule. But I think when we really say, well, they'll have a rest disadvantage against the Vikings in week 15, it's like, okay, but they should be better than the Vikings. I don't really care all that much. To really dig this deeply into the schedules to find advantages, disadvantages, you're kind of letting the coaches and the players off the hook. You be a good team. Are you going to meet the moment this year and take a step or not? And I think that thing is schedule independent. 608-321-1670. Back to your calls. Wisco Sports Show. Who says?
Well, things ain't always what they seem. So fins up, Grant. It's Mad Max in the tunnels under Racine.
Fins up, Max. What's going on?
Fins up. I'm just enjoying this beautiful Friday afternoon. I'm psyched for this weekend. It's going to be so beautiful out. It already is. 80s tomorrow, and just looking forward to some fun plans I have with family and friends tonight and tomorrow.
Outstanding. Should actually be a good weekend for outdoor baseball at Target Field, the rain delay capital of America. But thank God you'll be able to sit outside this weekend and enjoy that beautiful skyline.
It's looking like it. Yeah, the one time I was in Target Field was the middle of July. It wasn't a Brewers game, but it was like 95 degrees, and it was a really nice stadium, but excessively hot. But yeah, it was great. And Yelich out of the lineup again. And I do have to say, I'm getting tired of Yelich, and I'm going to be happy today that he's no longer a Brewer. He just gets paid way too much to be a part-time ball player.
I think I have a soft spot for Yelich in a way that I can discuss. We just got a couple people on hold, so I'll let you go, Max. I know where you're coming from, but I admittedly have a soft spot for the guy.
Yeah, I get it. Fair enough. But it's just, I have to see too much Garrett Mitchell in my life because of, in large part because he can't stay healthy anymore.
Yeah. So Yelich does struggle to stay healthy. Mad Max, we got 3 callers behind you, and I just want to get to everybody. I'm just such a sucker for him because I look around baseball and there's teams that are starved for veterans that set an example in the clubhouse and kind of speak for the team's culture. And I just think Yelich does such a good job with that. I'm more angry that he sucks balls in the playoffs. Like that. If he wants to play, I don't know how many games he's going to play this year. But if you're telling me Christian Yelich plays 110 to 120 games, yeah, he gets paid too much, but that's just kind of the nature of baseball. I'll take 110, 120 games. I'd prefer a little bit more, but I'll take that if he doesn't suck in the playoffs like he has. Like, I almost care more about that other thing. Line number 2, Wisco Sports Show. Who's this?
Hey, Grant.
Ed, what's going on?
I'll keep it short and so you can get on with it. I love your show today with the big unit, talking, kind of dissecting the whole Giannis thing.
Oh, good.
But I just wanted to let you know that was good.
I thought that was the one segment where Bill and I were kind of playing off each other. I was pretty passive the rest of the show. I was trying to get some things done. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, thank you.
No, it was awesome. I liked it a lot because that's been wildfire around the airwaves, sort of.
Yeah.
What airwaves we have in Madison.
Yeah.
So about the Brewers, I'm not going to get down, and I'm kind of whole humming right now when I watch a Brewer game because their bats are really hibernating again at times. I know yesterday it was sort of a blip on the screen on 7 runs. Woo-hoo. Not a lot of cricket innings. I'm looking for more of that. But okay. I'm not going to be down, but I'm not going to get too high. I'm kind of like you with Yelich. Let's just see what you do in the playoffs, okay? Bring it then, because we all know baseball is a marathon. So if you want to get too high, don't get high now on the team. You don't get too low, because the Cubs are going to flounder at some point more, and they are kind of, it's still too early.
Yeah.
Cubs are always the Cubs. They kind of choke as the year goes by. And lastly, on the Packers, you can dissect the schedule so much to ad nauseum that makes you want to vomit.
Mm-hmm.
But I only care what happens at the beginning of the year, if we can win at least 2 or 3 in a row, and then what happens when we're healthy and then we have an actually running game that's going to get us into the playoffs and go further. Until we have that, then we're going to have a lot of problems because Jordan Love is not going to be the end all, and he's not going to be able to lead us unless we have a running game.
Well,
I got.
Appreciate it, Ed. I think last year was a good example. Like Jordan Love and this group of weapons and Matt LaFleur, you can get by throwing the ball a lot. You could tell that there was just one element missing where it's like, man, you wish you could reliably run the ball a little bit in the second half of some of these games when you have a lead. And they couldn't really. So you can get by. If the Packers running game stinks again, I think they can win a certain number of games. I just think it puts a hard limit on your team. And I'm with you, Ed. It's fun to break down the schedule and look for little interesting parts. But really, like, are the players and the coaches, are they ready to win some games this year on a level they haven't the last couple or not? Because if they're not, the schedule's not going to save them. And if they are ready to win games and if they are ready to take a step, the schedule's not going to prevent it, in my opinion. It's fun details. It's great fodder for sports talk radio, but every team's going to have easier and harder stretches, things that they expect, things that they don't. Rest here, less rest there. Are you a championship contending level team or not? And I don't think the schedule will get in the way of that. Let's go Sports Show. Who's this?
Hey, Grant. How we doing? Happy Friday.
Excellent, Vagabond. You as well?
Calling in from Highway 64, somewhere in between Ellsworth and Amish country.
Ooh.
So we're going to see some houses on the skyline get built as we drive by soon. Hey, does Yelich show up to batting practice on time?
I don't know. Should we ask? I think so.
I think now we have to track this among our Wisconsin sports stars. Like, is Colton Joseph getting ahead? Is he the first one in the building and last one out? Like, we need to follow up on this now with all of our sports stars.
Don't downplay this. Don't. What is this? Are you telling me that it's?
This at all.
No, well, that's what it sounds like. You're just like, oh, so Giannis is a couple of hours late. What are we gonna put a tracker on everybody now? We're gonna give every athlete an ankle bracelet?
I'm more. Hey, whoa! No ankle bracelet talk. Sensitive subject there. Hey, I'm just saying. I think our reporters on the ground, our beat needs to hold these players accountable, right? Like, we can't have Badger beat, Packers beat, Bucks beat. We can't have Giannis in Milwaukee this long before discovering that this guy might have. Like, we can't hand collectively the keys to the city and the organization to a guy that's this undisciplined, right? So Yelich, I'm kind of looking at you. Last note, Grant.
Yes.
There's one game that's going to decide whether the Packers get the 7th seed or worse, or go on and finally break out and get at least into the 6th seed. And that is Thursday Night Football versus the Panthers. You kind of put it in there as an afterthought. I really don't get why the Panthers are plus 300 to win the NFC South. That division is taking a big step backward, and everybody loves their GM. Everybody loves their coach. They were in the playoffs last year, and everybody considers the Panthers an afterthought. So Thursday Night Football versus the Panthers. They win that game, they're a 6th seed or better. They lose that game, 7th seed or out of the playoffs. That's all I got.
And, I'll add to that, Vagabond John. I like the Panthers game. I thought that maybe you were going to say the Falcons, but week 3 is pretty early. You know what I want to see week 8 against the Panthers? I want this team to play like they're angry about what happened last year and kick the snot out of them. If they do that, that's going to show me a little something. That's going to show me that this team has a little attitude, that they take a little pride in their results, and that they feel a little shame and they feel a little embarrassment about maybe some failures of the past. I am with you. I think that Panthers game is an interesting indicator. Maybe we can build out that topic a little bit more next week. What games would we circle as good litmus tests? It's impossible to predict right now, but we can take a stab at it. I think the Panthers one would be near the top of my list. Thursday night game following a trip to Detroit on Sunday. It's going to be a quick turnaround, but you get the Panthers and you're building on a short week with a chance to make good on what happened last year. And I think if they're a serious team, that's something that they should feel strongly about. I should hope. All right, one more call here. Wisco Sports Show. Who's this?
I am dumbfounded,
Dave,
of all these people.
Yeah.
Reporters. Oh my God, we're gonna we gotta play at 3 o'clock because we play at 12 o'clock. We're on schedule, and we're gonna lose. If we play at 6 o'clock, nope, can't do it. Gotta play at 3 o'clock, and we gotta fly an extra mile, extra hour over there. These are the greatest athletes in the world who are spoiled. High school, college. What do we hear? Well, we can't play at 3 o'clock. It screws up our whole rotation. Oh, we can't play. Hey, Thursday Night Football. That's followed by 10 days off.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 games. You got 30 days off right there.
That's what I'm saying,
10,
Dave.
10.
They have 2 nights on Thursday Night Football, which is tough, but they're both at home. You get 2, and both teams should be worse than them. You should beat the Falcons and the Panthers, and then you get the benefit of the time off afterwards. I'm with you. They need
10 days off.
They need to be a big boy team. They need to be a grown up team and win those games. But if they do,
my God, it's like,
you get a little bit of a benefit there.
It's like college basketball. If I had $1 time I heard Brian Butch and these guys, oh my God, we got to play back-to-back Thursday and Saturday out in the West Coast, Oregon and Washington. Oh my God, they're tired. They have no other legs. I go, Brian, I told this. I go, seriously, you play 8 games in one day at AU basketball. You've got the greatest dietitians, the greatest healthcare. You're pissing and moaning, you're blaming, and they only play like 25 minutes out of a day. Come on, people. And then that's this generation. I'm sorry, but are you kidding me?
No,
we got to fly from East Coast to West Coast 3 hours. Who cares?
No, Dave, I'm with you, and I got to run. I'm sorry I'm late for a break. We'll talk more about this next week. Please call in and we'll do this more because, look, Dave, it's a sports talk radio show, so we're going to dig into these details. But I'm with you. Like, are you guys a Super Bowl team or not? Because if you are, the schedule, you'll make it work. And if you're not, the schedule's not going to get you to the division championship. No, like the team needs to take a step. And I think, some of these these nerds, they're pouring through all the travel and the miles and the time off. It's like, all right, which teams are the big boy teams and which teams aren't? Because that'll still shine through regardless of the schedule. At least I think. And Dave, you think. I agree with you. You sound angry and you're yelling, but I think it was one of your better calls in a while. And they're all good. I love you, Dave. You know this. Wisco Sports Show will be back just a couple minutes.
This is the Wisco Sports Show with Grant Bills on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 5 minutes. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 4 minutes. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 3 minutes. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 2 minutes. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 1 minute. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 30 seconds.
Cubs fans, Cubs organization, the Brewers are not going away. You're the Chicago Cubs. You've been beaten out by the Milwaukee Brewers 4 of the last 5 seasons for the NL Central title. You took their manager trying to catch up. And this season, you put together 2 separate 10-game winning streaks trying to finally get some separation. And guess what? You still don't have it. The Brewers actually entered Thursday with a better run differential than the Cubs. They were 4th in the majors in ERA, 5th in runs per game, and they've done this without a lot of key players. Remember, they traded Freddie Peralta before the start of the season. Then they lost Brendan Woodruff and Quinn Priester to injuries, and those were just on the pitching side. Position players, they were without Jackson Chourio, Andrew Vaughn, and Christian Yelich for significant chunks. And yet, here they are again, competing as they have for several seasons now, nearly a decade, for the NL Central title and beyond.
Because Ken Rosenthal, excuse me, little breakout video he does, I think it's called This Week in Baseball. Some nice Vivaldi underneath. It's nice background music. And I saw Sam Olver, Locked On Cubs, basically quote tweet that and say, this is kind of what I did on Locked On Cubs earlier this week, and I played you some of that audio. I don't believe Ken Rosenthal, however, quoted Ric Flair. That would be the difference. I think Sam had him covered on that front.
We've got to figure out a way to take care of them. They are the standard in this division. They have proven without a shadow of a doubt that as of right now, they are a better organization than you. And you cannot say that you're better than them until you prove it.
And, the Cubs, even with 2 10-game winning streaks, aren't going to separate and win the division in May. It is crazy because we've probably complained more on the show about the Brewers than we've praised them. And the Cubs have won 10 games 2 separate times. I think they'd be like 5 or 6 back. To be 2.5 back, the Cubs won last night is not insignificant in my mind, just mentally. When the Cubs are like, man, we played some awesome baseball to start the year, and the Brewers are still right there.
As the great Ric Flair says, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo!
Correct. That is what Ric Flair said. Coleman Crowe is up, so he's going to start tonight, which I like. I would have find any schlep to go out there and start to keep Chad Patrick in the bullpen. And I don't think tonight would be Chad Patrick's night to step up. This isn't a specific take for today, but just kind of in perpetuity, just generally speaking, moving forward, the Brewers should navigate their starting rotation and manipulate their roster and do whatever it takes to keep Chad Patrick in the bullpen, because I think as of right now, he's like one of their 3 best relievers. And they might need a starter on a given night, but Chad Patrick's probably their 5th best starter in the rotation, and he's their 3rd, maybe 2nd best reliever behind Aaron Ashby. That's a little bit more important. I don't want to sacrifice that when Coleman Crowe could come up and start. And I don't know much about Coleman Crowe. He's certainly not a Jacob Mizrowski level pitching prospect, but he's made 1 major league appearance. He looked pretty freaking good in Miami, so give him another shot. Give him another shake. Bobby in Menominee says, now Dodgers closer Edwin Diaz should be executed for his participation in cockfighting. People who take pleasure from forcing animals to kill each other need to be lined up in front of a firing squad. What is Free Phones Friday? Jay Krebs says, Yelich is a DH who can't stay healthy. Next step is retirement facility, buddy. It's ridiculous. He's a professional athlete. I'd give up a prospect to get his contract off the books. I would not. See, it's crazy because the Brewers can win 10 in a row, and I'm going to come in here and find a way to bitch. All of you want Yelich's head on a spike, and I'm like, but guys, he's a good teammate. So my Yelich commentary is inconsistent, I think, with a lot of the other Brewers takes that I spew on the show. Let me give you an example. So I listen to a lot of East Coast sports talk radio, WFAN, Francesa, the Sports Hub in Boston, Felga. I'll play those clips on the show sometimes, anytime I can. It's entertaining. He joins us at the Super Bowl. They have spent the better part, if you're even slightly familiar with the Red Sox, they've spent the better part of an offseason and now this season talking about the loss of Alex Bregman to the clubhouse. They're without a leader. Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer, their top prospects, they don't know what to do because Bregman was so valuable as a leader. And Bregman wasn't that good last year. He hasn't been that good this year. What did Bregman do last year? I think he was fine. It's not like he was in the MVP race last year. It's not like he was otherworldly last year. Let me see. So we played 114 games. I know we missed some time. But let me see here. 18 home runs, 62 RBIs. He had 273. It's actually a slightly better average than I would have thought. He had a solid year. But Red Sox fans talk about him like, man, they miss Bregman because there's no one in that clubhouse to set a daily standard, to kind of to preach on a player level what the organization is preaching, the things that, for example, now we'll go back to the Brewers, the things that the Brewers preach offensively, defensively, the way they want their guys to play, the way they want them to prepare. Now, Yelich's price tag is massive. So I'm not telling you that he's worth it just for that stuff alone. He's not. But I don't want people to underrate that part of it. 162 games is a long season. And especially for a team like the Brewers are playing a lot of young guys. Churio, but especially in the starting rotation. This is Churio's third year, so he's not a kid, but he's still pretty young. What is he, 23? Garrett Mitchell's trying to figure it out as a pro. You don't think Garrett Mitchell benefits from Christian Yelich's presence? You know, this rotation, Harrison, Miz, Sproat, you don't think they benefit from the presence of that elder statesman who, again, I think so clearly defines what the Brewers are trying to do? So it's one thing to have a veteran who's an a-hole. It's not useful to just have a veteran. Well, he's been around. He's seen it all. Well, if the guy, doesn't lead in the right way in practice, it's not just having a veteran have a veteran. It's like Bernie Brewer is a player. It's an extension of what Matt Arnold and Chris Hook and now Vogelback and all those guys, everything they're trying to do, Yelich is an extension of that. So yes, he needs to play, and the back is really annoying. But I think his presence is much more valuable than Brewers fans would think, even aside from him DHing. And yeah, I know he's got to play. I know he's hurt a lot. Let's go to some calls here. Let's go Sports Show. Who's this?
Hey, Grant, it's old Clemhead.
Old Clemhead. What's going on?
The old Clemhead. Well, I just wanted to tell you, I hope you don't feel guilty for taking a little time off today. You had a brutal stretch there for a while, and you deserve it. You should have taken the whole day. I don't know if you
know what? Ebo told me I should take the whole day, but I said, Ebo, I don't need the whole day. I just need to leave around 5:15. So I recorded some segments, some extended commentary.
Yeah.
Won't be able to take calls, but the show will go on.
Yeah. Well, I've been enjoying your takes on the Packers schedule. I think the schedule is way better than I thought it would be. I think this is a very winnable season. I like your takes on the 2 week and a half buys instead of a 1 2 week buy. Yeah. It's way better. And then having the Thursday night games at home, that's like a double bonus. I think, boy, this schedule, if the Packers can't get in the playoffs with this schedule, they don't deserve to be. Like you said before, I've said this many years, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So quit whining. I am a little worried about the Rams and the Patriots.
Sure.
But there we go. Be the best, beat the best.
Yeah,
so,
well,
I'm looking forward to this. I think this is a great schedule.
I am too, Clemhead, and I'm sorry. I want to get one more call in, so I got to go. You're always going to have tough opponents on your schedule. You're never going to have a schedule where it's like, hey, you play the Browns 16 times, 17 times. Although the Packers lost to the Browns last year, I understand. But you're never going to have that schedule. You're always going to have tougher games. But I think there are unique opportunities in this schedule. If the team's a big boy team ready to win and grow up a little bit, there's some good opportunities in this schedule. Let's go Sports Show. Who's this?
This is Louie in Eau Claire.
What's up, Louie? We got about 90 seconds here. Sorry to rush you.
That's all right. I can work on a tight schedule. Talking about Yelich and how kind of some of the flack that he catches, I'm kind of interested in the dichotomy of how Brandon Woodruff and how Christian Yelich are perceived. They're both got pretty checkered injury paths. If anything, Yelich has been more available than Woodruff here over the last 3 to 4 years. But it seems like Woodruff's doing everything he can to be out there. And Yelich is kind of more, I got a sore back. I got a hamstring's a little tight. I think that's affecting how they're perceived because I don't really hear too many people complaining about Woodruff. I personally like Woodruff in his kind of bulldog mentality more than even Yelich. But you think that plays a part in it? Is that Woodruff seems like he's doing whatever he can to be out there, and Yelich is not that he can play. It isn't, but that is kind of tweaking the whole perception of things.
I think they present differently in a press conference. Yes, for sure. Louis, I appreciate it. Woody wears his heart on his sleeves. He's had some emotional moments. I think Yelich wants to be out there just as bad. He's just very robotic, just very matter of fact. So absolutely, I think how they present in clips that we watch, and absolutely that's part of it. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. And, Yelich deals with a lot of these nagging things. Woodruff is like, he's making his way through this catastrophic shoulder injury. Yelich is like, his back hurts again. That matters too. 3 minutes. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next.
This is the Wisco Sports Show with Grant Bills on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 3 minutes. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 2 minutes. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 1 minute. The Wisco Sports Show will resume in 30 seconds.
All right, Wisco Sports Show. Hold on, we got one caller here. Who is this, and do you want a minute, or can you hold on for 3 or 4, and then we can talk on the other side?
It's Darnell. I don't really care.
Darnell, I'm gonna hold you over because we'll have time on the other side. Darnell, we can just give me 3 minutes. You're not doing anything, or if you are, it'll be fine. We'll have a couple minutes, about 10 minutes on the other side before I got to dip out of here. I recorded a couple segments. 1 on the Bucks, 2 on the Packers, including some commentary from Pete Bukowski. And we'll dig in a little bit into the NFL schedule, big picture. I don't know why I can't speak. I feel bad for stuffing Darnell back on hold. Probably it's my guilt. So that's what's coming up in hour 2, but we'll have one more segment together. I'll take your calls and get to some of your texts, including Darnell, who will begin the proceedings here in 2 minutes, right after we get to Ebo's update, the headlines. More Packers, Brewers, and more of your calls next. 608-321-1670. Sorry, got to be quick here. I went a little long in our previous segment. Talk to you in 2 minutes on the other side. Hour number 2 next.
She lets me use the car. She said, if you can't find nothing wrong with your mind, you better
This is a Wisconsin Sports Zone update.
Well, the schedule is out for all 32 NFL teams, and the Green Bay Packers will be featured in 6 primetime games, including the night before Thanksgiving in Los Angeles against the Rams. And they'll be at Soldier Field Christmas Day against the Chicago Bears for a noon kickoff, both games on Netflix. The Packers will also be Road Warriors to open up the season, as their first 2 games and 3 of the first 4 are on the road. The end of their schedule, though, will have 4 of the Packers' final 5 games at Lambeau Field. Turning to the Milwaukee Brewers, Luis Rengifo drove in 3 runs, and Kyle Harrison recorded 7 strikeouts and 5 scoreless innings of work as the crew would take down the Padres in the rubber match yesterday afternoon at 7-1. Manager Pat Murphy talks on his club's pitching.
They've been great. It's the lifeblood of the organization for years. You got to pitch. They've found guys for us that are young, and we put them through the car wash, and it's been great. It really has.
The Brewers now finished up a 5-1 homestand against a pair of first-place teams, the Yankees and the Padres, and are back to a season-high 7 games over 500 at 24-17. The Brewers will now hit the road for 6 games, starting in Minnesota tonight against the Twins, and then a series at Wrigley against the Cubs starting on Monday.
For nearly 40 years, ABC Wisconsin Apprenticeship has been helping men and women transform themselves into highly skilled trade professionals. These skills are in demand and provide strong wages and benefits for a bright future. If you're a hands-on person who likes the feeling when you get projects done, apprenticeship could be for you. Go to buildyourcareerwi.org or just search online for ABC of Wisconsin.
The University of Wisconsin has a 9-person committee in search of a new athletic director. They'll have Chris McIntosh's replacement by summer. And finally, we're still in Giannis watch for the Milwaukee Bucks. Will a deal get done before the NBA's draft? For the Wisconsin Sports Zone Network, I'm Ebo.
Certainly, I think it's always important to start the season on a good note, but having 4 out of 5 at the end of the year, especially with the conditions that we get up here in Green Bay, could be a big advantage for us.
This is where Wisconsin gathers to talk sports. Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks. The Wisco Sports Show is on the air. Now, here's your host, Grant Bills.
Hour number 2, I'll take your calls, 608-321-1670. Darnell the Chump here in Madison. Thank you for waiting through the update, Darnell. I didn't want to rush you. That's good for nobody.
That's no problem. I don't mind. Like you said, I have nothing better to do than wait.
Well, you are a father, which is important, and a homeowner to boot. So you could that could fill up your day. But other than those 2 things, sure.
Yeah, you know what? You're just talking about veterans and what they mean to your squad.
Yes.
And I hated, and I was pretty vocal about hating watching Luis Rengifo for the first month and a half.
Yep.
I might have been wrong about him, honestly. Like he's kind of raking in the last couple weeks.
Yes.
And playing pretty solid third. I think the Brewers figured out third base. Maybe not an all-star at third base, but at least a replacement level player, right? So I just have to commend the Milwaukee Brewers on this, because they always they do this where they don't have a single person ready to go for a position, and they're like, you know what, we're just going to make it work. And then
somebody will work.
Usually they're right. I mean, last year was Caleb Durbin. He fit in, and then he ended up he had a well above average season last year at third base. So, they did it again, and I have no problem being proven wrong by the Brewers, because I feel like that happens every year for me.
Well, it's a good thing, because, we're kind of only proven wrong by the Brewers. To your point, I know it's only 2 months into the season, but so far, Rengifo in April and March was hitting 188 in 85 at-bats, 95 plate appearances. He only has 37 plate appearances. We're halfway through May, but he's hitting 303 this month. So, look, he wasn't that bad. When we saw him early on, it's like, look, I don't think he's going to become a stud, but he's not the player we saw in the first month of the season.
Right. And on top of that, he hits with a little bit of slug too, which is nice, because there's just no slug usually at the back of their lineup. So having him bat 6th or 7th now instead of 2nd like he was at the beginning of the year, which I think rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It's like, really? We got Rengifo in the 2 spot right now?
Yeah.
So that was an issue. But now that he's batting, more towards the back of the lineup, I think that not only suits him better, but also fans are able to palate that a little bit more. It's like, I can live with Rengifo in the 6th spot, because if he gets 2 hits a game, that's a big deal from your 6th guy instead of
win you a game.
Exactly. So
I think the same is true of Hamilton, by the way. I think there's a couple of guys on this lineup that, as long as they're able to stay healthy, Churio, Contreras, if Yelich can come back, Vaughn, as long as the lineup is full the way that it's supposed to be. Renifo and Hamilton are nifty little players. And they're not the slobs that have to carry an offense like they did for a while.
Right. And did you read the article about Hamilton?
Jack, you're referencing Jack Stern. I have not. I was going to read that this weekend.
That's a good one. I definitely recommend it. It's funny how the Brewers go about their thinking, where they're like, you know what, we see this. They don't look at a player; they look at the tools the player has, and they're like, how can we best optimize the tools that they have? You know, it's just it's very Moneyball-esque way of looking at things, where you're like, let's replace all of this in the aggregate, right? Yeah. And they're able to do it every single year. It's really impressive for me. So, looking forward to a great series with the Twins. Always fun, by the way. If you ever can go to Target Field, it's one of the best venues in the MLB.
It's a good time. It's very unique. The footprint is smaller. It's I don't know. It definitely feels like a modern stadium, and the skyline, Darnell. Oh, the skyline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Too bad Minneapolis is just a crap hole.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Well, appreciate the call, Darnell. You have a good weekend.
You too.
I do, for the record, prefer St. Paul, but that's because there's more trees and the rivers there. I'm not anti-Minneapolis. Screw you, Darnell. People, you say things like that and it reflects on me. Oh, Grant, he hates Minneapolis, because that's how people react. I make a small joke about how, Christian Yelich sucks. And then listeners go, oh, Grant, that guy, he hates Christian Yelich. No. Just jokes. Target Field is cool. I like St. Paul, but St. Paul doesn't have a nightlife. I tried to go out after a wedding in St. Paul. I've had a couple of them in the last couple of years. It's like, is that even, hello? Lacrosse has a better nightlife than St. Paul. They don't have a hockey team. Shout out to the Catbirds. Rest in peace. I'm with you, Darnell. It's a very sharp way of building a baseball team. I don't see players. I see traits. It's like what gamblers say. I don't bet teams. I bet numbers. Like, okay. But that is how you should do it. That is how you should approach it. So yeah, Jack Stern has a story about David Hamilton today. I can read you the byline. I'm not just going to sit here and read you his story, because I got to take a break, because I have to go. I have a personal obligation tonight. So the rest of the show I actually recorded earlier today. The rest of the show is original. It's going to be me. It's not a replay. I just won't be able to take your calls. I saw Onabam retweeted Jack Stern. I just had it on my feed, but the byline, if you want to go read it this weekend, and you should, Jack's been on the show, says the Brewers still love David Hamilton's ceiling, but they're working to help him reach it. He's not even scratching the surface of what he's capable of, is the quote. But it hasn't worked yet, as Hamilton has remained the very limited player he was for the Red Sox. David Hamilton hasn't yet become what the Brewers still think he can be. So would recommend. If Jack wrote it, my bet is that it's excellent and very informative, because he doesn't write things that aren't excellent and informative. And again, you recontextualize Renifo, you recontextualize David Hamilton, and you put those guys in the 6th spot or in the 8th spot. Well, now, to Darnell's point, if Renifo gets 2 hits in a game, that's huge. That's massive. Whereas when he's hitting 2 or 3, he gets 2 hits a game, and like, that's your price of admission. Like, that's the difference between you getting no hit and losing, 1-4, 1-5, basically. So we'll take a break. I'm going to come back, going to get back into the Packers schedule, and we're going to look, bigger picture at the NFL schedule at large, including some of the decisions they made for maybe some of the primetime games, which I find interesting. We're going to hear a little bit from Mike Florio on that topic. Peter Bukowski, a couple comments from earlier today that I cut up. I got the highlights. We're going to react to that coming up. And I do want to get to the honest stuff, because I don't know. Probably a little too hard on Giannis yesterday. Still really like the guy. Would like to see him stay. Would like for it to work. I just don't know that it can work. And for that reason, I'm skeptical on whether or not he should stay. Does that make sense? It's not personal, although we got a little personal last night. Caught up in the moment. Sports Talk Radio is a little performative, so sorry. Little personal, but maybe a little bit more balanced, nuanced conversation about Giannis. That'll be at the very end of the show. But 3 minutes, we're going to come back, get back into the Packers schedule. You're listening to the Wisco Sports Show. Be right back.